Happy New Year and happy new sporting season. After a month of rest, we're back training for our first tournament and we're starting off strong today with a full 10-minute Trackmill session. We haven't done a video like this before, showing a full session from start to finish, but those of you who are in the same sport as we are will love seeing a full session like this. We are currently preparing for the new sports season, and our first tournament is up in just 1 week. So the first 2 weeks of the new year are all about getting the dogs in shape for this first tournament. And we have had so much fun. We've actually filmed the entire time, so you will see a video of a preparation for the first tournament up next week. But until then, I've got this 10-minute video for you. Trackmill is an endurance discipline and it focuses very much on the dog's drive, because during those 10 minutes the dog doesn't get anything except for a runner's high. The dog is supposed to run back and forth and back and forth and back and forth again for 10 minutes, and they cover about 3 kilometers in that time, a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on the size of the dog and depending on the speed that the dog runs at. And this machine, called a Trackmill, has 2 poles that are set approximately 40 meters apart. And these blue poles that you see are markers for me to see how far my dog has to run. The dog has to cover exactly 100 yards back and forth every single time, and these poles are hence 100 feet apart. Now in metric terms, that is 30.5 meters, and these poles in this video were actually put at 31 meters because I wasn't aware that it was exactly 100 feet, and we work with the metric system. So the dog is running a little bit more than she has to here, but that's fine. And depending on the dog's height, the dog has to cover a specific distance. So Venus is in the 15-inch class, which involves dogs between 15 and 16 inch in height, and she has to cover the 100 yards 90 times. If the dog is 1 class lower, so in the 14-inch class, they will have to run the distance 85 times. And if they are an inch class higher, it goes up 5 repetitions each class. So with inch classes 14 through 18 plus, we have 85, 90, 95, 100 and 105 repetitions. Now, Venus's personal best recorded score on a DSA tournament was 104 repetitions, which is 14 times more than she has to. And the previous time that we practiced Trackmill, she actually had 108 repetitions. This time around, if I counted correctly, and you will be counting with me, I'll put the timing on the screen, we have 100 repetitions. So Venus's personal best is 20% over the required amount, which is obviously quite impressive, and I'm very happy with that. And even though it doesn't matter how much distance a dog travels and how far your dog can run and how fast your dog can do it, standardizing a discipline like this and following the same rules every single time gives you an idea of how your dog is improving, and it gives you a way to eyeball their mental and physical state. So being proud with an improved score, a very high score, is not always a way to gloat, but it's actually a way to show that you're happy about how your dog is feeling, how your dog is acting, happy about the diet you're feeding them, happy about all the prep you've put into the dog, and happy that your dog is enjoying what they're doing. And that's how we look at it. If our dogs do better than last time, if our dogs keep doing very well, we are aware that our dogs are feeling good. Now, if our dog is performing less than we would expect them to, we can look into several things, such as their diet, such as the amount of rest they need to have, or maybe the training method isn't suitable and we have to change a couple things. So standardizing is something I love and I value a lot in training. And it is why I like the DSA so much. It's quite a standardized tournament and I appreciate that a lot because you can compare dogs, but you can compare the individual's development over time as well. Now, why I think Venus was slower this time around than she was last time and why there is a difference in score of 8 points is not necessarily her condition. Last time around it was around freezing point and this time it was 10 degrees Celsius warmer than it was the time before. Last time it was completely overcast, but here for most of the Trackmill session we had quite some sunshine coming through. So again, that influenced the temperature. She heated up a lot quicker. But also, she was running directly into sunlight half of the time. She couldn't see the Trackmill. She couldn't see where she was going, so I had to motivate her to keep running. She was quite hot by the end of it, so we allowed her to go into the pool, have a little bit of a paddle, drink some water, and she ran back to the gate straight away to keep going. She was very, very excited to keep going, and we allowed her another 5 minutes of running just because she loves it so much. We didn't include that in the video, but you will see at the end how extremely warm she is, how happy she is and how focused she is on the lure to keep going. But I told her to stop, wait and stay there for a second, take a breather. And then she was rewarded with another bit of that running just because she loves it so much. Now here at the end, you see me messing up the handling as I see that she's getting tired, that we're nearing the end of the session and we finished it at what we thought was 100, but it was actually 98 repetitions. She did well, she had fun, and tomorrow it's actually time for Trackmill training again. So in next week's video, where you will see 2 weeks of preparation leading up to next week's tournament, you will see 2 Trackmill sessions and a whole lot more. I hope you'll enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye!